Inspirational Creatives, episode 198. Welcome to Inspirational Creatives. I'm your host, Rob Lawrence. Join me every Friday as I chat with successful artists, producers, and creative entrepreneurs who share powerful stories and strategies. They can help you to create the life that you want. Listen each week as these inspirational creatives show you how to take your creativity to the next level. You'll learn how to create a sustainable business that inspires others and gives you the financial freedom and lifestyle that you want. Thanks for listening. Make sure you sign up at inspirationalcreatives.com to get free exclusive bonus material. And now, on with the show. Rob here, and welcome to another short action episode of Inspirational Creatives. If you're new to Inspirational Creatives, these short action episodes, which appear every Wednesday, are designed to help you take some life-changing action towards living the life that you want. In episode 197, I spoke with successful musician and female entrepreneur, expert and mentor, Bree Noble. In that episode, Bree shared her story with me and how she went from being a director of finance to becoming a full-time musician, creating a living doing what she loves. In today's short action episode, I'd like to share with you some of Bree's wisdom as to how she's creating a deeper and more intimate connection with her fan base and community, and how she's doing that using Facebook Live. Although today's episode will specifically benefit musicians, there's no reason why the ideas and wisdom shared here could not be creatively applied to anyone looking to create a deeper connection with their audience. So I hope that Bree's wisdom inspires you. Before we look at Facebook Live and how to create deeper and more intimate connections with your fan base, and to set the scene for this short action episode, in episode 197, I asked Bree how she is finding ways to make money with her music. Her answer revealed how she's creating a deeper connection with her fans. What are some of the more successful ways that you and other musicians that you work with are making a living from their music today? What sort of approaches do you see working?
Well, I highly recommend house concerts because it's a chance to really, really get to know your fans on an intimate level and get to meet new people and make them fans. Because house concerts are small, intimate gatherings, usually where the host invites a bunch of their friends. So they're people that don't necessarily know you, but it's like you've got a foot in the door with them because they've been invited by their friend and they're basically recommending you. And so, it's an experience where you're like hanging out with these people in a house. It's very low key. You can get to know them a little bit before you actually do the concert. When you do the concert, it's like you're 5 to 10 feet away from them. You can really interact with them, ask them questions during the show, just really create a special experience. And number one, they will want to reciprocate by giving you donations and buying merch because they'll have had such a special experience. And then number two, like if you make sure and capture their fan information, you've already kind of made super fans out of them because they've had such a cool, intimate experience with you. They'll likely never forget you as an artist.
For Bree, one of the keys to connecting more deeply with her fans are by meeting with them in person. This may seem intuitive, almost obvious at first, but let's not underestimate the power of personal connection. If you're living day to day in an online world and thinking about how you can connect with your existing audience in a deeper way, Bree reminds us that finding ways to create exceptional in-person experiences for our community can be a way to create raving fans. For Bree, this takes the form of a house concert where through fans and friends, she has the opportunity to perform live, creating an unforgettable experience for those in her audience. Her results have shown that such intimate connections lead to superfans who will never forget you as an artist. In episode 197, Bree explained to me the importance of capturing email information from your fans and audience. In the first instance, it's about developing relationships and creating that personal connection with people, giving them a special experience like a house concert. And then in the second instance, it's like inviting them to carry on that conversation through an email list, for example.
Yes. I mean, I can't stress enough the importance of an email list. That is how I built my whole career because I would keep in contact with them, anywhere from once a week to once a month. And so I was always top of mind whenever something came up where they needed a musician or they heard of somebody that needed a musician. Like anytime that a musician came up and they realized, oh, I need something for this, or they have a friend that did, I would be top of mind and they'd be like, oh, I know somebody. And that is where I got so many of my gigs down the line, and it didn't have to be calling out all the time, getting, cold bookings, because I had this connection with them, this continuous connection. And then of course, when social media came along, then you connect with all those people on social media and they have a more continuous connection with you than just once a week or every other week.
So this is keeping relevant in their space, kind of being on their radar.
Yes, being on their radar. It really is the reason that we have an email list, because like I said, like when something comes up, they need a musician. If they have no way to contact you and they can't necessarily remember like, oh, how did I spell that artist's name? Or, or they just can't recall your name, but they remember this great concert you did, it's not going to help you in that moment. So being in their inbox, it always gives them a way to contact you directly, or at least have your website.
Many of Bree's gigs came from connections through her email list. Her email list has also been a great opportunity for her to remain on her audience's radar. It's also an easy way for those in your audience and community to contact you. In episode 197, I asked Bree about how she is using social media to engage with her audience. Her answer revealed how she is using Facebook Live as a way to create a deeper connection with those interested in her music and work. What ways are you using social media to keep that connection tight?
Well, I use social media all the time, especially for my podcast, because every time I have a new episode, I can post that. What I've been doing lately is recording some of my episodes on Facebook Live. A lot because I want to model this for my students and my audience, because we have such a great opportunity with Facebook Live to connect with our audience. Recently, I actually was performing somewhere in town, which I don't do that often nowadays because I'm so busy with the business, but I still try to do it every once in a while. I'm actually performing next week. So, I try to do it maybe once, twice a month if I can. But I was performing and I had done some of the songs for a while. So I was practicing and I thought, you know what? I'm going to practice this song. I'm going to do it on Facebook Live just for fun. And so I actually did it from my own profile. I had like 30 people show up live, just watching me practice in my home studio. And then I had like over 2,000 people view the video. I got like 50 or more comments on that video of people going, wow, that was amazing. I can't believe that you can sing like that. And, all that social proof is going to help you get more fans and more gigs. And your friends will share it. It's amazing because if they think it's a great performance and it makes them feel cool to know you as a musician, they're going to want to share it with people. And that's how you can get new fans.
Building social proof increases the opportunity of finding new fans through your existing audience, as those that get to know you like and share your work. In episode 197, I asked Bree what she believed was at the essence of creating social proof. So what do you think is at the essence of being able to create social proof in that sense?
I think it's just putting yourself out there, not being afraid to share it, not being afraid to ask. I mean, when you're on Facebook Live, you can totally say, if you like this, I'd so appreciate it. It would mean the world to me if you would share this with your friends or let them know about my event that's coming up next week. Like, don't be afraid to ask for that share.
Bree suggests not being afraid to ask for that share. If you're feeling a little nervous about trying out something like Facebook Live to deepen the connection with your audience, you're not alone. In episode 197, Bree revealed this to me.
I definitely think when I first started, I was like, I don't want to share any personal details with anyone, because I saw these people with their shiny, family pictures and, the way people show up on Facebook. Sometimes, they only show the best of what's going on. I just try to encourage my students as much as possible to share the real them, but with a positive spin. So for me, it's not like, woe is me. I spent 13 days in the hospital. Like, I always want to put the positive spin on that. Like, that gave me time to reflect and really understand that my purpose was to go out and, and give this talk and to share my songs. So I always try to put a positive spin on everything that I talk about in my life that has been a struggle.
Bree implies that it's about being brave yet vulnerable and sharing the authentic you. It's about putting a positive spin while sharing the struggles. In episode 197, I asked Bree this question. I can imagine our listener listening to this, they might be feeling a bit nervous about trying something like Facebook Live. What would you recommend to them in terms of building their confidence doing something like that?
Well, first you can start by just recording yourself, not on Facebook Live, but pretending that it's Facebook Live and watching back your video and see if there's anything that you don't like about what you're doing or, that looks strange or you have weird tics or whatever. We all have those. Mm-hmm. And, then I would just say, just do it. I mean, you can always delete the video and, the likelihood of that many people showing up live is not that high nowadays because there's so much going on social media. But, if 3 people show up and then you just absolutely hate the video, just delete it and no one else sees it, right? But you just got to do it. People are so forgiving in the live space. When I record my podcast live, I know that I'm, occasionally stammering a little bit or saying, and, when I'm recording my podcast and I can edit it, it's different. I can pull all that out. But people understand that it's live. They appreciate the position you're in, putting yourself up live, and they just want to see the authenticity of you, like raw and uncut.
If you're a little apprehensive about trying out something like Facebook Live, Bree recommends beginning by recording yourself and getting used to being on camera. When you're ready, you can try the real thing. If you're unhappy with the result for any reason, you can always delete the video. But Bree reminds us that video and broadcast audiences can be very forgiving. In fact, Bree suggests that audiences like to see the real, authentic you, raw and uncut. This transparency will build trust and credibility. Before we begin to wrap up today's short action episode, in episode 197, I asked Bree about the importance of consistency. Is there something to be said also for consistency as well? I mean, you can try these few sort of initial videos and get there and get out on Facebook Live. But then in terms of building your audience and building social proof from that point forward, is there something to be said about consistency?
Absolutely. I mean, I would recommend to any artist that can fit it into their schedule to set up a time once a week that you go live. Let all of your fans know that's the time. And, be sure to remind them in several ways that it's the time. And, maybe debut a new song every week or, just do, a different song every week. And the other great thing about Facebook Live is that you should definitely include a call to action of some kind. So, if you're doing a song and it's from an album that you've put out, then say, go check out my album on iTunes and, include the link, or say, subscribe to my YouTube channel and you can see the official video of this song. Maybe you're doing an acoustic version on Facebook Live. Think of some way that you can tie in whatever you're doing to an action that they can take. It could be share. Could be share with your friends. It could be go to this link and sign up to get tickets to my event next week. And it could just be go to this link and get your free download of this song. So anytime that you can tie that to an action that your fans or potential fans are taking, again, that's strategic. Like, don't just go out there and perform live every week and not have any way to get something out of it. When you're building your brand, but you want to be able to see if it's effective or not. And you can see that by asking them to take an action and then see how many people are taking that action.
Bree recommends setting up a schedule and finding ways to remind your fans when you're going to be broadcasting. Bree also suggests including a strategic call to action, such as a link to a YouTube channel or iTunes. Always have something to invite your audience to. Remember, you can always then measure how many people are taking that action to find out how effective your calls to action are. To summarise this short action episode then, full-time musician and female entrepreneur Bree Noble has taught me that first, there is no substitute for creating exceptional in-person experiences if you can. These opportunities, which could include workshops, talks or shows, or house concerts, in Bree's case, these can be opportunities to create raving fans. If you're looking to create deeper connections with your audience, what ways could you create exceptional, unforgettable in-person experiences for your community and fans? Second, having an email list is as important today as it has ever been. Whether in person or online, capturing your audience's details to offer them a regular newsletter is a great way of keeping on their radar reminding them every so often who you are, what you believe in, and what you do. Third, using social media opportunities such as Facebook Live can be a great way to deepen your connection with your existing audience as well as grow your fan base through social proof. Whilst it may get you out of your comfort zone, live audiences are forgiving, and the uncut nature of live performance can really help people to bond with you. Good luck taking action today. If you'd like to hear more of Bree's ideas and story, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com and check out episode 197. Don't forget to check out Bree's website at femmusician.com. That's FEMUSICIAN.com. Let me know how today's ideas resonate with you by dropping me an email at rob@inspirationalcreatives.com, and I'll chat to you soon. Thanks for listening. Nothing beats the stories and advice of an expert to help you raise your creative game. I would love to know what you thought about today's episode, so don't forget to subscribe in iTunes, where you can rate and review the show. If you like this episode, I invite you to share it on Facebook or Twitter with the one person you know who will benefit from the wisdom shared here today. You can find the show notes on inspirationalcreatives.com/podcast. If you have a burning question or a great idea for a guest, head on over to inspirationalcreatives.com/contact, where you can connect with me there.